Welcome to Creator Upload, your creator economy podcast. I'm Lauren Schnipper.
And I'm Joshua Cohen. Lauren,
What?
we're like both in the same physical location, but not exactly in the same
We're not in the same
location.
physical, we're in the same city right now, but like we can't be in the same room due to like there's some protections in place. Because I don't want to get into details, but like there's some legal precedent that is
Let's not lead our dear listeners the wrong way. It's just the on the road logistical limits of
super exciting
audio recording.
Yes, audio recording. If in the same room without proper equipment, it doesn't work. One time Nas Daily, aka Nosire, came to my house to record the podcast, and I had to literally put him in my dining room, and I went upstairs to my office because I don't have like professional podcast equipment. So guys, we bring this to you from wherever, however, whenever we can, and that's just what it is.
And where we're calling from is Las Colinas,
yes,
Texas.
Well, I thought it was Irving, Texas. We're in
Irving,
Dallas.
Texas.
We're in Dallas.
We're in Dallas. For people who don't live in Texas, we're in Dallas.
We're in Dallas. We don't live in Texas. We're in Dallas.
VidSummit.
VidSummit. So that's where we are. We're a little bit delirious. I would call it punch drunk a little bit, because when you go to we're at a conference called VidSummit, which like you might argue is like a mini VidCon industry. It's no fans, it's creators and industry. And this is my second year coming to Dallas. It used to be in LA, like at a little airport hotel for a couple of years. I went there. I think this is your third year in Dallas that you've come, I believe so.
This is second year in Dallas. I wasn't able to come the previous year. And then before that, it was by the airport in Los Angeles.
No, you came 2 years ago because that was why I wanted to come. This is your third time in Dallas. You're welcome. Anyway,
but I didn't come last year, Lauren.
Did you not come last year?
Yeah, I skipped
because you skipped here. Because you came 2 years ago, and that's why I came last year, because you were like, it's kind of happening.
For everyone keeping score at home, I came 2 years ago, did not come last year, and now I'm back here this year.
I came last year.
And this is Lauren's second year in a row.
Also details, I'm staying at the same hotel, but they like moved the check-in desk and the elevator. So like I walked in and I was like, literally like, am I in the right city? Am I in the right Aloft hotel? I was very confused. Anyway, The point is, when you're here, you're just it's awesome because like everybody that you kind of want to see from a professional level and sometimes personal is in one room. Honestly, the Westin Hotel lobby is mostly where people are. And then of course in the convention center where the actual event is taking place. And it's like it's back-to-back piles of conversations that you're having that are great. I've seen some amazing people here. Some fun conversations I had with, obviously, Kim Larson is here, the head of creators at YouTube, CEO of Uscreen I was talking to for a long time, the Wild Vision folks, CAA had a fun little event. I mean, I could just name drop and company drop all day long. But what about you, Josh? Any fun? What are the good conversations you've been having?
So those are confidential, but here's what I like about this event.
Okay, tell me.
It's produced by Daryl Eves, who's a YouTube guru, been in the ecosystem for a long time, along with Sean Duras and lots of the people at Space Station, which is Sean Duras's management/influencer marketing/investment company that he started. And what I like about it is that it's big enough where you have this critical mass of people where you can see all old friendly faces that you've known before, see the people that you've been meaning to do deals with but haven't quite crossed the finish line, that you can get over that hump with a 15-minute conversation here, and also be introduced to lots of new people that are doing really interesting, cool, creative stuff in the ecosystem. And it's hit the critical mass of attendees where you get all that good mix, plus it's in a confined geographical area where there's lots of opportunities for serendipitous interactions.
Yeah, and it's becoming one of those things, like if you go to like a South by, like there's many people who go to South by that don't buy a ticket to the conference because there's so many like ancillary events going on. We're not like at that scale by any stretch, but there's a lot of people that I've met that don't have tickets to the event that literally just come to go to a dinner or a cocktail or hang out in the Westin lobby because it's that sort of fruitful in terms of the attendees and who you're going to meet and the conversations you're going to have and the businesses you're going to do and stuff like that. So it's been really fun. So we're in the middle of it. We're on day 2 tonight.
And I do still, people are asking about what it's like. I do still like the framework that I originally came up with, which is it's like a trade conference. If this was for plumbers or electricians, and those plumbers or electricians were aggregating and
he loves a plumber and electrician
or electrician in the world, that's what this is like, except for content creation specifically on YouTube.
Yes. And listen, we listen, people love the podcast. They're coming up to us. We still got it, Joshua. Like people are like, I recognize you from the cast. And I was like, you know what? Yes, you do. Thank you for listening. So that's always fun and reassuring because my self-worth is entirely tied up to this podcast. So thank you very much.
Lauren, there's a quote from Vince Lombardi. Do you know his famous football coach?
I know who Vince. I know the Super Bowl trophy is the Lombardi trophy. Go on.
There you go. So he said,
Did I mention I danced in the first official Jaguar game?
So he said famously, when you go into the end zone, act like you've been there before.
Oh.
Okay, so let's just keep that mentality moving forward.
I have been here. I am here. Please. I'm with you. So anyway, very exciting. I'm excited to go tomorrow. Billy Parks, friend of the podcast, is going to be doing, I think, a fireside or something with Cody Sanchez, who I'm like obsessed with because I like want to buy a laundromat. Look her up. She's amazing. So I'm excited to see that. John Yushai is here, his wife Amanda, who like runs everything in his company, did a great talk today. So it's a lot of really really great panels and people are here. So tonight we're going to the Tubi dinner because Tubi's doing a lot. So excited to eat a dinner on their behalf and learn about what they're doing. Feed me and I will absorb your information. It's really that simple. Okay, I want to get to a few exciting things beyond VidSummit that are going on. First up, I want to talk about Instagram has started a new sort of awards thing called Rings, right? And so just to give some context, like this isn't like a new or innovative thing in the sense where like you got other platforms, specifically YouTube, who famously sends out these sort of really flashy, beautiful sort of plaques when you reach certain subscriber milestones. And they're often in like videos for big creators. Like, and I'm not talking just like your sort of like front of the mill content creators. Like I watch like weird self-help videos that I just love watching people that call in and like you get these like YouTube doctors and they all have them in the background. Like everybody's very proud of having these things. It's become like a badge of honor to have these sort of YouTube plaques. So Instagram has been, I guess, talking about doing this for a long time. I certainly remember sort of conversations around this when I was there around like, giving sort of the due to the best creative on Instagram. And so when I was there, the first sort of iteration was that your girl kind of came up with this, which was the, when I kind of we were doing our first VidCon activation when I was there in like 2015. And I wanted to really blow up this sort of talent lounge experience at VidCon because I had been many years previously and it was kind of just, there was nothing there. You couldn't get a sandwich, you couldn't do anything. And creators would be trapped in sort of the, the quote unquote talent lounge, but it wasn't really a thing. So I, at the time, Instagram hadn't really started showing up for creators in the way that people think they always have. Like it really hadn't happened yet. So we decided to brand this really sort of decked out Instagram talent lounge. And one of the things we did was that we selected about, call it 24 like creators, and we chose something from their grid and we printed it out and put it in like beautiful framing and made like a plaque under like an art gallery. And we walked in, I don't know if you remember this, but we did this.
Yeah, that's cool. It was cool.
And then we gifted it to the creators. And what was really innovative about this was that everything at, Instagram and Facebook at the time was, and still is, it's all about scale, right? Like it's so the idea that we're calling out 24 creators at the time was actually like, it was a big deal because, you're trying not to sort of do that. But I would make the argument, and I still would make this argument, that like, it's all about aspirational. You got to have something for people to sort of like, aspire to. And so it was really cool. So we did that specific kind of thing, I think 2 or 3 years. And so I know there's been talk about doing something similar to the plaque thing. So enter this thing called Rings. And from the Instagram sort of blog post, it says, Rings isn't about honoring a specific type of content. It honors a spirit. One theme we hear from creators all over the world is the excitement and nervousness that comes with making something and putting it out in the world. It takes courage to chase an idea, quiet that inner circle, and create anyway. This award is for the creators who don't just participate in culture, but shift it, break through whatever barrier holds them back to realize their ambitions, because every act of creativity, big or small, can lead to something great. So this is not going to be based on any sort of numbers. This is going to be based on creativity, it sounds like, alone. And so, and they said out of 3 billion users, 25 will receive Rings. So this is like crazy. So Eva Chen, who's of course head of fashion partnerships at Instagram, has been there for a long time. Evidently, she helped conceptualize this. We felt that it was time to have an award that recognizes people who take these creative chances on a platform. These people are cultural catalysts and they're sparking conversation. And by doing that, they encourage people to express themselves as well. And they're going to have I think a bunch of judges, including Adam Asori and Eva Chen, and then I believe like Mark Jacobs and some other sort of big names. So I can't stress to you, like, but it took, I know, just based because I know there were initial conversations about something like this when I was there. So these things take a long time to come to fruition. And I'm really, and evidently another big thing that I think is really interesting, once you win, what do you get beyond, like, I'm sure they'll give you some sort of plaque, but ring winners will see their stories surrounded by a unique golden ring. They will also get the ability to customize the background color of their Instagram profile, an ability that will be unique to them, and their content will be featured in their own spotlight feed within the app. That is like huge. I remember when I was there, there was I remember one time Mark used to do these Q&As and somebody was talking about like the fall of MySpace. And one of the things that he talked about was MySpace allowed for so much individualized creativity that it like basically took all the bandwidth of the company to like support that, because it's like hard to, like, when you had your like Foo Fighters song on and like the background and like, glitter and all that sort of stuff. And so they did not want to do that. So the fact that they're allowing for that sort of unique customization is actually also huge. So, I love these like random little things, but like, this is not something that came to like sort of quickly or without a lot of thought. And so I'm curious also of like, did they get that customization for like the year that they're the winner, or do like is they gonna have it forever? So lots of one more quote from Eva Chen. She said, "It took a long time for this program to come together. It's the culmination of years of wanting to do something like it and being able to execute it both product-wise and getting this panel of both product-wise and getting this panel of luminaries together to be the judges."
Lauren, just a few more specifics about different components of the initiative. First off, other notable names on the list of judges are Spike Lee, Pat McGrath, Marquez Brown-Lee, and Alona Mar. And in addition to the physical ring, which all of the recipients of this honor are going to receive. By the way, it's made by jeweler Grace Wales Bonner. Seems like a 35-year-old fashionista out of London. Just seems to be crushing it. Obviously very popular on Instagram.
Mm-hmm.
They're also going to get that ring that you talked about that's going to go around their profile picture. And they're going to be able to contribute some of their own spin to the like button on their profile.
Oh, really?
Quote, winners will also have the ability to customize their profile backdrop color and put their own twist on the like button, helping fuel their creativity in the year ahead, unquote. So when you click the like button, it's going to do something cool when you're on
like their like button
channels.
on their page. Yeah.
Profile.
I mean, I'm saying get with it, Josh. Get creative. You may need to like redo that blurry dog picture you have as your profile for the first time in 25 years.
I think that this is fascinating in a way because during the pandemic and the crypto NFT craze, there was all these thoughts about like the value of virtual goods. And different platforms were jumping on the bandwagon to greater and lesser degrees, but figuring out ways to have kind of like virtual goods that were worth actual value that you could exchange, that you could do other stuff with in the future. That's not quite this, but this is a big platform like Instagram showing that there is a bunch of value in a virtual good,
right?
Especially when that virtual good is only given to 25 creators on the platform a year.
Yeah.
I think it'll be interesting to see the kind of respect or attitude or love or hate that creators who receive this award get on Instagram, and the limits of the creativity they're going to be able to explore with these new kind of like subtle twists on classic features.
Keeping it with Meta, I just want to also mention that Facebook has done a bit of an algorithm update that's giving users more control. So Facebook's going to make it easier for users to express their disinterest in types of videos. They can now select not interested on a reel or flag a comment, prompting the recommendations engine to adapt based on this feedback. It helps address user complaints about, undesirable content. And this algorithm aims to prioritize newer content. It will present users with 50% more reels that were uploaded on the same day that you're scrolling, which obviously will incentivize people to make more content because content is going to be surfaced more. Facebook Reels will also feature AI-powered search suggestions. These suggestions will recommend queries to help users discover more content about topics they like, similar to the gray suggestions found at the bottom of TikTok videos. I think my only problem with constantly just giving people more of what they want to see is the fact that people get all of their news from these platforms.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, if that's what it like, because you can make the argument, like, what's the difference between that and TV? It's like, well, nobody's doing anything but spending all their time on these things. And as it relates to any content that's, meant to inform you or be unbiased. It's just not possible. So we're going to just continue to live in a polarized world. Thank you, algorithms. Well,
this isn't the first big platform that's talked about a seemingly semi-major algorithmic move in recent months. Late September, X announced that its recommendation algorithm will soon be purely AI. What does that mean? Good question. Quote, the goal for your X timeline is to get out of the mainstream algo and the political crusades and find your niche. Nikita Bayer, X's head of product, said in the tweet. You should be able to post about your interests and have friendly, relevant people chime in. Musk also said that X is making, quote, significant progress along the way to fully AI-dom. We will open source the algorithm every 2 weeks or so, he said. And that by November or certainly December, you will be able to adjust your feed dynamically just asking Grok. So the idea here is you see your algorithm and then you can ask Grok, which is X's AI engine, to adjust your algorithm accordingly. You can say like, hey, Grok, I want to see more of this. Hey, Grok, I want to see less of that. Hey, Grok, and maybe you can put in a big, huge prompt too about the different types of stuff you want to see. You can see this being used for great and not so great purposes. Also, I think giving more power to the user in terms of what they want to see on the platform, I'm all for. It's counterintuitive, though, or at odds with the goals of the platform, though. So I wonder how this will work out long term, because time and time again, humans say they want one thing, but their actions show that they're totally interested in something completely different. So me, Josh, I would love to have a TikTok feed, YouTube Shorts feed, Instagram Reels feed that's only dedicated to, let's say, science and education learning, or like self-help or Chinese astrology or whatever. And I'd like to be able to swipe left or right to go into those different algorithms. And then maybe you can have a general algorithm too. But odds are I'm probably going to spend less time on those other pages than I would if I was just going into the platform and looking at whatever the platform was feeding me that it thought I would enjoy. And it'll be interesting just to see how this manifests and plays out long term with what kind of control these platforms actually want to give users to control their algorithmic experience.
I mean, right now, as long as TikTok's around, they're going to do anything that's like sort of similar to that, and allowing, I think that I think one of the most interesting things about this is the sort of new content prioritization, which is not necessarily like totally new, but they're really being explicit about it. So I think that's also just very, again, that changes user behavior or creator behavior, right? Because like if your content's only going to do well if you do new content, you got to do new content all the time.
Oh, that sounds so taxing for a creator.
I mean, your eyes are barely open right now.
Yeah, so. I know, because I'm so just sleepy for a creator that has to do this.
Sleepy for a creator, and the ring for most tired. Okay, Josh. We would be remiss if we didn't talk about Sora. Sora is, of course, the new app that is sort of TikTok copycat coming from OpenAI, and it is soaring, pun intended, to the top of the app charts. Josh, you've got the app. You gave me a code today. I've yet to download it. Tell the kids about Sora.
So Sora is OpenAI's video creation platform. It could be considered like ChatGPT is a large language model. You could call this a large video model, where you can type in whatever prompt you want into Sora, and then you'll get a video back. Previously, that's all it was. It was just a video generation platform. Now, when you go to Sora, if you have an invite code, you can get access to the social network, basically, that's a TikTok, but just all for AI-generated content. When you log into the platform, it tells you to turn on your camera, give Sora access to your camera, and then it wants to take a video of you looking up, looking down, looking left, looking right. It tells you to say 3 different numbers, and then it has your avatar in Sora. And then what you can do is you can say like at Joshua J. Cohen wins the Super Bowl for the Chicago Bears, and it'll create a video with your likeness on it, doing whatever it is you prompted it to do. And so you can see all these videos from all these different people on the app where it's their likeness doing cool things throughout history or whatever else. You can make your avatar kind of like public or private, where only you can use it, where only you can see the videos you create. You can make it more public. Like Sam Altman's is public, so anyone can add Sam Altman and put him in, OpenAI CEO and founder, and put him in whatever video they want. So the app in and of itself is very cool. It is similar to other AI products where I was messing around with it for an hour when I first got it, and now haven't really looked back at it. The allure kind of wears off very quickly, unless there's some utility in the AI product.
What and you? Why? Why do you think the utility? Why do you think it wears off?
I think for ChatGPT and these other LLMs, there's a lot of day-to-day utility in using them, and it's not just like fun to go. I wasn't typing like, hey, write a poem about myself winning the Super Bowl for the Chicago Bears. That's going to get old after a while, right? So there's actually utility in using this AI in these large language models in your day-to-day life. Whereas like I'm not creating video all day long. So the use case is just recreational for me. It's entertainment. If I was creating video all day long too, like maybe I could use this as some background or scene fillers or some type of content there. But still, I think its utility is limited in the current scope of what it is right now, which is to say it's really good. Lauren, I was showing you some stuff. We were scrolling through it, and we were just looking at, I think more so the quality of the content, and you would totally not be able to tell that it was AI generated if you were scrolling through it just on a regular platform.
And so remind me why this content can't be ripped and put on other platforms, and that I won't know it's not, that I won't know that it's not, that it is AI.
All of those things you said are going to happen and have happened already.
Okay, great.
And Casey Neistat has a great video where he's talking about this and kind of thinking about how this is going to impact the future of content creation. He does it in this really clever way. Everybody should go watch the video, because he uses Sora to provide some archival footage of him talking about content creation throughout history that really adds to his video. And so you can get a sense for how like really smart, savvy content creators will be able to weave this into their regularly scheduled programming to make a much more quality product. What he does is he goes through the different stages of democratization of content creation, basically. So there were movies, then there were television, then there was cable, then there was YouTube, then there was TikTok. And now if content creation is democratized enough where anyone who can type or speak into an AI and give it a prompt can create something, what does that mean for the future of entertainment?
I don't know. I really wish I could tell you. But
nobody knows. And
that's what's great about it.
It's not just Casey Neistat who's concerned about this. MrBeast recently tweeted, when AI videos are just as good as normal videos, I wonder what that will do to YouTube and how it will impact the millions of creators currently making content for a living. ... Scary times. I do think there is still a big question if AI content creation is ever going to get that good. Technology seems to have this last mile problem in lots of different iterations. And AI right now is very good up to a certain point. And like,
but don't you think, I mean, it has gotten so good so fast that it's going to just continue. Like,
it has gotten so good so fast, but like from ChatGPT 3 to ChatGPT 4, huge, massive jump. ChatGPT 4 to ChatGPT 5, a jump, but less of one. You wouldn't be able to tell the difference as clearly between those two iterations. So I think as the technology progresses, the quantum leaps it's taking from iteration to iteration are decreasing in size. So will it ever get to a point where it's as good as any other type of content creation?
I feel like it's the subtle changes that are going to actually make it like more dangerous, because it's like all of a sudden it's just like little by little it's getting better and better and better until it's just like, I don't even know, this isn't even you. Like, I don't even know who, you know what I mean? Like, you're going to have like an AI chat tired version of yourself. And I'm going to be like, I couldn't tell the difference.
I mean, yeah, there is I don't know if it's a utopic or dystopic future, but where you could say into your remote, hey, I want a Netflix show, 8 episodes, 45 minutes apiece about Broadway, Dancing with the Stars, and the apocalypse. And then within minutes, it's created for you. And it knows what you like and what you don't like.
That's not specifically what I'm not worried about, that level of content creation. I'm just worried about like when that documentary is made, there's going to be no humans actually like really needed to do it. And it's just going to be it's just in the process of making it. But yeah. But listen, we can dream.
One of the biggest concerns I have right now is archival footage, because archival footage already looks grainy. Like actual real archival footage looks grainy. It looks a little dirty. I think it's easier for we're not as used to it. It's on like high def 4K. And so I think it's easier for the AI to replicate that a little bit. Or it's easy. No, it's harder for us to discern whether that's AI or that's actual archival footage.
And that's terrifying, because it's like people are rewriting history and that sort of stuff. Yeah. Oh, yes. Fantastic. It's just what we need. Yeah. Great. You're really, this is a positive episode.
But we get some memes in the meantime.
We get some memes in the meantime.
Yeah.
I'm going to doom scroll all day and it's fine.
Yeah, you get some memes.
All right, Joshua, let's get to uploads and downloads. I think this is a really cool upload. So Stephen Bartlett, the creator of Diary of a CEO, which has had like huge people on it, Richard Branson, Michelle Obama, all the fun people. He has, with a guy who used to be at MrBeast, called Rox Code, created a new sort of podcast hosting service called a Flightcast. What's interesting about this is that I found it kind of uninteresting initially, because it's like, okay, you can put your lets video podcasters upload their episodes, and then they have systems to distribute those episodes across YouTube, Spotify, and Apple Podcasts. Not exciting, not that interesting, right? Like there's actually a lot of other services that do that. But what is interesting is that there's AI on everything to help you analyze the data. This is from Rox Codes, who co-created this. AI on everything to help you analyze the data, to help you understand what's working and help you understand what's not, make recommendations as to what you should do. Transcriptions, titles, descriptions, chapters, auto-clipping tools that cuts out chunks, edits them, posts them onto YouTube Shorts. I mean, that stuff takes a lot of work. And so I'm curious how good that is. That's like real work that is hard. And if there is a service that can do that, that's actually like pretty incredible, because on the one hand, producing a podcast is not that expensive, but doing all of these different components and video and stuff, it starts getting, costly, as you can see by our fabulous production value. And so they say it offers custom generation that's trained on individuals' creator content, so it can spit out suggested new titles, descriptions, etc. in your style. So I think this is interesting. We've been doing this almost 6 years, and every day is a joy. But on the days that it's less a joy, you have to figure out what the hell you're talking about. It's in what works and what people like. We have a dear friend who has contributed to this podcast. I won't name a name, who he's texted me before, like, stop having these stupid guests on it, just like you and Josh talking about it. I'm going to do my impression of that person so that maybe people can guess who it is. And I'm like, you know what? Thanks for the feedback, I guess. But like, if there was actual AI that could really like give me sort of information as to like that. I mean, you can gather some of this information based on when people drop off. But like, there is, there are these stats and insights are available. But having AI kind of compile them and then give you recommendation based on them, I think this is pretty cool. So I like that as an upload.
Yeah, I really like the two part of it, where one, they're helping you with the distribution and the chopping up, editing, thumbnails, titles, etc., metadata around the different videos. And then two, helping you analyze this data that does make it super interesting. And this is not a new playbook. Diary of CEO and Stephen Bartlett have become incredibly popular. They supposedly turned down a $100 million deal from a big platform recently, just so they could stay independent and do more of what they're doing. When you become a creator that big and you've developed your own systems and processes and have refined them to the point where you think they're really working and you can prove that they have worked for you, lots of times these people then go want to create another platform so that they can have another line of business and help other people get to the same state that they are. They're already way ahead and crushing it. So they don't really mind if other people try to get to their point. Another example of this is Jimmy Donaldson, aka MrBeast, with ViewStats. He goes and looks at and analyzes different YouTube channels and their strategies, and then is attempting to, in ViewStats, package that up and give it to regular users so that they can get better at YouTube too. But the idea here that whether it's podcasting, whether it's YouTube, if there's more great content around, that's going to just create more of a market, get more people involved in watching it, lead to better advertising rates, more brand dollars, etc.
Any upload downloads for you, Josh?
Yeah, Lauren, quick upload from me. So Discord introduced ads in 2024, and good news for them, it seems to be working. So this company, AppsFlyer, ran a performance measurement test for Discord's Quest ads. What are Quest ads? I'm glad you asked. Quest ads are a type of advertising unit that shows up in the Discord server, and then you have to complete different tasks in order to get whatever the end result is. AppsFlyer ran its Discord tests in June when it analyzed the results of a quest campaign that promoted the Marvel Snap trading card game on behalf of that publisher for Marvel Snap Second Dinner. So the top-line numbers, according to Digiday, were quite strong. The quest generated more than 15 million impressions, and 99% of users who started the quest received a reward for completing it, which is fucking wild. Second Dinner's cost per install went down by 30% in the wake of the quest campaign. Who knows if this was just like big results because it was such a novel thing and this is one of the first big campaigns to roll out on Discord quests. But I think it shows a really bright future for Discord and its ad experience and marketers who want to reach the types of audience that are on Discord for the future.
Okay, Josh, we got to get back to the party. I think we did it.
Well, I think that's it. I'll see you just shoveling your mouth full of barbecue in like 35, 40 minutes.
I did that yesterday.
And if not there, next week on Creator Upload. Today's show was produced by Lauren Schnipper, Joshua Cohen, that's me, and Adam Connor. It's edited by Adam Connor too. Original music is by London Bridge. You can check him out on Instagram at London Bridge Music. Make sure you subscribe to Creator Upload right here on YouTube, on Apple Podcasts as well, Spotify, or wherever you're listening. While you're there, give us a rating and leave us a comment. If you want to talk, hit us up at info@creatorupload.com. If you like our show, recommend it to a friend. If you love it, just tell everyone. Thanks for listening to Creator Upload, and we will be back next week.